Being a journalist in the thoroughbred world has many blessings, and I can assure you there are far more pros than cons. But besides the fact that you go to beautiful stud farms and you meet jockeys and trainers and owners and breeders and all sorts of people in this world, my true passion in the sport is about the afterlife of the thoroughbred. And this program is not necessarily about Yvette Bremner or Jan and Kate Peskens or Hedley McGrath, but it most certainly is about their unbridled passion, their commitment to racing their horses safely and looking after them after they've finished racing. Whether it's looking after them as a riding horse, as an eventing horse, or perhaps even breeding from that progeny, or maybe just even looking after them for the rest of their life. So without any further ado, let's go and join Jan Peskens, who's going to tell us a very heartwarming story about a mare called Vivalda, who died whilst giving birth to her filly foal. And that same filly then lost her surrogate mother, who had been fetched all the way from Colesberg. But finally the story has a happy ending, when this little filly finds the love and nutrition she so desperately needs at Hemel and Arde stud. So let's find out why Jan and Kate Peskens race thoroughbred horses.
We race for the fun of it, and we love the animals. You're not going to make money out of racing, but we've been fortunate. We've had a fair amount of winners. I think we've had about 100 winners, so we're okay. It's a hobby.
When I see your wife come home from wherever she's been and she walks out of the storeroom there with her saddle and bridle, she's hands-on, you've been hands-on, you've ridden for many years, so you actually understand horses, which is a damn sight more than a lot of people who want to get into breeding do.
Yeah, we both rode horses, and that's how I met Kate at the riding shows. And she was 16, blonde girl, and that's how we met. And we actually rode a point-to-point event together as team members, almost like a rally eventing. And we were team members, and we won the class.
Well, your daughter now has picked up from where you left off, because she's obviously a lot younger. She's travelled extensively, and you've got a few retired fellows over here that are obviously part and parcel of her love of her life.
She enjoys eventing. She's been to Kenya for course pulling. She's now just come back from Italy for whatever she does.
Yeah.
I don't get involved in that.
You just pay.
Yes, we keep the horses.
In that stable block at the bottom, you've got a couple of horses that have won many races, maybe not as fashionably bred as a Legislate or Futura or any of the stallions that have gone to stud in South Africa. But tell us first of all a little bit about Celtic Fire.
Celtic Fire was on the farm by Hedley, and our kids were still small, Travis was small and Michael was still small. They had a four-wheeler and they used to ride on the plot next to Hedley, which used to belong to Mike de Haas. Hedley was looking after it. And it was a little track. So I was watching the kids, because we don't let the kids ride by themselves. So I was standing by the fence like this, and these babies come along and they start nibbling me, and Celtic Fire and Youth Club, they both sort of bit me. More Celtic Fire. And then Hedley said we must get involved in racing. So I liked Youth Club and Celtic Fire. And my wife liked the grey, which was Windsor Wall. So I said, well, then we must maybe get involved in all three, which we did. And Celtic Fire has won 16 races in his career for us. Also there, he was good enough to qualify for the Met and Queen's Plate, but not good enough to get a placing. I mean, we had a horse in the Queen's Plate and in the Met, which was quite a feature, I think. I've never either been there again, at the Queen's Plate or the Met. So, and then obviously Youth Club. He's had 5 wins. He's won just over 600,000, I think. So we were lucky.
Now, the interesting thing about Briar King is he was a horse that had a mind of his own. He's a big, strong, strapping chestnut. He has the rare distinction of having played the role of gatecrasher in Legends, which is still going to be flighted, believe it or not. But he's a character of note.
He is. He didn't like other horses when he was racing. He would actually try and savage the horse next door to him in races. So he had a mind of his own. And then also the one time on the way to the start, you saw the gate at the crossing where the tractors cross, open, and he ducked, and jockey fell off, and he ran back to his stables. So, was scratched.
Well, looking at this beautiful son of Victory Moon, he's even more beautiful in the flesh. He was Horse of the Year, as good as a racehorse can be. One never knows if he'd have been in Johannesburg from the beginning, what he could have turned out to be. But he's got a stallion's pedigree. His results so far have been absolutely spectacular from the minimal chance that he's been given. But he is a hobby, and he may become commercial in time to come, although that's a hard act to follow. But you have a deep love for this horse, Blaze of Fire.
No, I love him. He's like a pet. I'll go visit him every evening when I come back from work. He follows me like a dog in the camps. And you could be actually careful now because he's now more stallionish. He's standing out the side of the camp, you call him, and he comes galloping to you. He's just a lovable animal. And I always said to my wife, Kate, I would love to have one day a baby foal at home. Not to breed commercially, just to have a baby, at home. And well, we've had now a couple, so we've been fortunate. When he was in training, I said to Yvette and to Hetty, he shows, being a stallion at 5, 6 years old, no interest in mares or fillies, nothing like that. And when he came off the track, 2015 I think, around about July, we put him with the geldings. He was fine.
So you thought he might be Freddie Mercury?
Yeah, he was happy with the geldings until I took him to cover, I think it was Vervelda, for the first time. And then it was tickets. We had to keep them separate because they started to fight. So he's been in this camp all by himself. He sees the geldings, he's happy with that. We try and keep him away from the mares so he doesn't see the mares. And I think that's why maybe he looks so well, because he doesn't
fret,
stress up and down the fences, stuff like that. So he's actually quite clever, because in the camp that he is next to the driveway, when I come home now even this morning, the gate goes open and he runs to the gate, because now when the gate's open you can see the mares. Normally lunchtime they go into the stables.
Ironic really that you should mention Vivalda, because this is the subject of a terribly sad story that may well have a very happy ending, but going through that must have been one of the most traumatic things that you've ever encountered as a human being.
I didn't expect anything like that, and I think it is the worst thing I've ever encountered, because it was early evening, 6:30, we had load shedding, and we had problems with the gate. So I walked down to the gate after the power came on and tried to see if I can sort the gate, and I couldn't sort it out, so I left it on manual. And then I walked down to the stables at 6:30, and there she was down already, sweating, stressing, and the test lines were out. And I don't know what to do. Tried to phone Ashley, and obviously it just rang. So I phoned my wife. I said, "There's trouble, come quick." But the two little feet were out, and I tried to pull. I mean, with the sack, the slips. So I had to break the sack a little bit, and then I started pulling in, and I actually put my hand down to see if I can feel the head, and I could feel the head. So we pulled, or I pulled, and then 5 minutes later, maybe 7 minutes later, Nicky Bartlett arrived with a friend, and we both pulled and got the filly up. In the meantime, Charles Hayward arrived, and obviously nothing we could do to save the mare. Her intestines were out. So we had to put her down, but I mean, we managed to milk the mare and get the necessary colostrum out of her, so we could feed the filly. Looking at the foal now, she was obviously a very big foal at birth. As I said, I don't breed for commercially, I just do it for the fun of it, and that part wasn't fun. And Vivalda had a foal the previous year, and I wonder if I shouldn't maybe should have given her a break, because all the other mares had a break, had a foal, had a break, had a foal, had a break. She had 2 in a row. I don't know, maybe we overfeed them, because they all look so well. The foal was big, and I think that damaged the mare.
So now you've got a life and death situation, because you've got a bit of colostrum, you've got Nicky Bartlett who's got all this experience, and you've got a bottle that I understand was in the fridge from the year before, in the deep freeze, but you're running out of time.
Yes, we tried to get the filly to Hermanus the same evening, Friday evening. I was prepared to put in the combi. Put straw down in the combi, take the seat out, because it's quite big inside for the little filly. And Kate actually went to Nikki to get some more colostrum, and with the combi, and I taken the seat out, and she said, no, don't use that, rather use the horse box. She mentioned that Dave Southey in Colesberg had lost the foal that same morning. So Nikki phoned David, after she knows David. We arranged to fetch her. So I left 8 o'clock Saturday morning, drove all the way to Colesberg, fetched the mare, got back to PE home at about 7:30 that evening, and introduced the filly to the mare, and she drank straight away. But Nikki was with us that evening. She helped us, and she said, don't leave the foal with the mare overnight. Nikki wasn't happy the way her head was always hanging down, looking at the ground. You know, she wasn't perky, her eyes weren't sparkling. She also had a very big foal, apparently. Apparently the foal got stuck halfway out, and obviously they lost the foal. So every hour we got up to the stables, took the filly to the mare, made her drink, put it back in the stable next door, right through the night. And then on Sunday morning, we got Ashley out, put the horse in the drip. Temperature was fine, heartbeat wasn't too bad that morning. That evening, Ashley came again. But in the daytime, that we left the mare on the halter with the lead rein, and my daughter and myself, we were with the mare all the time, and the baby was feeding from the mare. But we had to be careful, because the little filly thought I was the mother. Because now I walk away from the mare.
She imprinted on you.
She followed me, so I sort of had to sneak away slowly away from the mare, and then obviously that afternoon Headley arrived, and they were actually happy, the two together. It's actually pity that the mare obviously had internal injuries that we couldn't save her, because on the Sunday night, Nikki said we can leave the foal with the mare, but we had to stay on guard all night. And I did the last stint on the Monday morning before going to the office. The mare actually nudged the foal closer, and the mare was actually very, very good.
They had bonded.
But she obviously was very, very weak. And Ashley obviously came again on the Monday morning and listened to the heart, and the heart was virtually non-existent. And that's actually a sad thing that we also had to put it on. When we took her out the stable, in the area where we could put her down, she fell over. Luckily, she didn't fall onto her handler either. You know, she was quite a big mare. She was quite tall. Beautiful mare. I mean, that's one of those things.
Because so now you're thinking to yourself, how much more can one foal take? How much more can this filly actually take? She's lost her real mother. She's lost her surrogate mother. Now what's the plan?
Well, then in the meantime, we got a permit that we were allowed to take the filly to Hermanus. Kate went and fetched the documents from Bev, and then we had to stop on the freeway near Fairview, because it was racing that Monday morning, and Ashley had to come and do the ID for the foal. And obviously took a photograph of the ID and obviously sent that to Bev or wherever. Yeah. And then 2 o'clock I hit the road with the foal in the horse box with thick straw, and I put blankets on the side of the horse box with straw in it, so she had nice padding. And Nikki's driver, Michael, came with me. So we shared the driving. Every 2 hours we had to stop, and I had to bottle feed. And the wind was blowing, and it was raining all the way from Jeffreys Bay to Titsugama. It was terrible weather. It was slow going. We got to Hermanus at about 10:30, 11:15 that evening. While I was in Caledon, actually filling up and feeding, David phoned me to ask where I am. I said, I told him I'm in Caledon feeding. He said, well, it's another 20 minutes. We'll get the mare ready.
So you come in from the back?
coming from the back.
Yeah.
From Caledon. You'll get the mare ready. Because obviously there's a special injection they give the mare.
Yeah.
And actually when we unloaded the foal and walked her down the passage, and the mare saw the foal, called out straight away. It's something I could not believe. Opened the door, and the little filly went in and started drinking straight away. But it was such a relief that she found another mom. And I stayed there till about midnight. And then I went to shower, I had a bed, I got up early morning, I didn't sleep late.
Yeah.
I was to the stables at 6 o'clock, and little filly was lying down, looked happy. And when she got up, she started drinking straight away from the mare. And then one of Dave's assistants, she came with a bottle, didn't want the bottle.
She wanted the mare.
She drank from the mare. I think she had some bottles in between, but when I left the farm at 7:30 that morning to come back home, she was happy, and I was relieved that they bonded.
And just as much as Blaze of Fire is your pet, your pal, the love of your life, this filly is never, ever, ever going to be for sale.
No, not at all.
She will come back to you. She's obviously with David now, and she will stay there for how long, and what are the plans for?
Normally, I would assume they stay until they get weaned, which is around about March, April, May, somewhere around there. So, and then also we'll have to go fetch her and bring her here.
When Blaze retired and he's still a colt, we thought, okay, well, just amongst us, we'll keep him and breed with him because he is well bred. And then obviously Vivalda, she was a really decent filly, although she was a bit dilly. She was a decent filly. So we just kept a few of our mares, 3 of them in fact, and he's got some really, really nice babies, I must say, and I'm not speaking just because of sentimental reasons. Nickelback just showed now how well he can run, and he's still green. He's got so much more to come. It's a very special win because Vivalda died this week.
I'm really sorry to hear that.
So, yeah, he just obliged.
He's got a lot of attitude. It seems Blaze's babies have attitude because we have a young colt, 5 weeks old, that's got attitude you wouldn't believe. But this is a very special first one for Jan and Yvette, especially for Jan, because Vivalda had a special place in his heart. So it was very nice.
I know we're going back a couple of years here, but I'm actually not going to forget that I came to your stud once with Abby, and you took us for a walk to see the falls, and I met Nickelback.
I would like to thank the whole team, and I would like to thank everybody who got the full sister to Cape Town of the weekend.